ranking all the 49 Genshin Impact characters by how powerful they are in the lore, starting from the least powerful to the most. When measuring a character's power, I'm gonna be using their most peak potential, so in most cases, they aren't actually gonna be this strong. I'm also gonna base a character's power by how much damage they can output in the shortest amount of time. So it's not particularly about who is the most skilled and strategic fighter. Let's now begin, starting from the least powerful. At number 49, it's Barbara. She doesn't fight a whole lot, and it is mentioned before that she can really only heal. Since in this ranking, I'm measuring them by how much damage they can do to an enemy, so healing is practically very useless in this situation. 48 is Diona, because her only talent in combat is agility and speed, so it would be useless again in this situation. 47 is Sayu, which may surprise some people, but it's basically for the same reason as Diona. She is reliant on her stealth when fighting. 46 is Sucrose, because she doesn't even fight at all, although her throwing the Anemo Hypostasis will provide good damage. 45 is Kokomi, which may anger some people, but the reason she's this low is because the two things she's great at in the lore, strategy and healing, is very useless when measuring power. But her placement is a bit higher because of her god blood. Now this is the part where it gets very difficult to measure which character is more powerful compared to the other. 44 is Hutao, and I have to specify for this character that it's based of lore, not in meta. She has said before on how she doesn't like fighting, and her attack animations seem very playful than skilled. 43 is Yunjin, just because of her voice line that says she has only grasped the basics. It's mastering the polearm, but she still seemed very confident about her abilities. 42 is Xinyan, because we haven't heard much about her combat strength, other than in the Labyrinth Warriors event, where she seemed to do well. 41 is Toma, because he mostly specializes in housework, although he seems to spar a lot with Ayaka. 40 is Fischl, because although she has us to assist her in battle, she might mostly specialize in investigating about the target first, and spying on them, before actually going in to do damage. This is the point where I counted wrong, and there is actually only 47 characters, and I don't want to redo everything, so let's just skip all the way over to 37, so it'll match in the end. 37 is Yanfei, because although she's an Adeptus, I don't think she practices her skills, and doesn't focus on power. 36 is Goro, because he's a general of an army, and trains pretty well, but I do think he's somewhat dependent on teamwork. 35 is Xingzhou, because he did manage to master the Guhua art, but the reason he doesn't have a higher position is because I think others just have higher strength potential. This is my reasoning on why others as well seem way too low in the list. 34 is Mona, because she was very confident in her skills during her story quest, and somewhat impressed the Traveler. Sadly her fortune-telling and teleportation won't help her in this situation. 33 is Xiangling, reason being, she is trained by Madame Ping, and was shown to be good with the polearm, also because Guoba is there to help her, although not sure how strong its flames are. 32 is Bennett, because at peak potential, I am assuming his bad luck is gone, and without it, he seems to be pretty powerful, as he managed to impress Varka, and survive all this time. 31 is Razor, as he was trained by Varka and Lisa. The reason why he's not higher is because in his attack animations, he seems to struggle carrying the giant sword, and I'm measuring their power by how much damage they can do in the shortest amount of time, without needing to dodge or even block attacks. 30 is Amber, reasons being, she seems very strong in the lore, and was quite impressive in the Genshin Impact comics. 29 is Changyun, because at peak potential, I am assuming he's not able to suppress the things that warm him, making him be aggressive and hot-blooded, potentially allowing him to do more damage. He also trains excessively. 28 is Yurla, because she fought with Varka once, that ended in a tie, and also because she seemed extremely experienced and powerful in the cutscenes we see her fighting in. 27 is Ayaka, because she started training from just a young age, and has very fast attack animations. 26 is Rosaria, as she was raised and trained by bandits when she was just a child, she isn't too high on the list, because I think she specializes in speed and sneak attacks more. 25 is Aloy. Although I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn, she looks to be a strong hunter that could possibly control robots and use them in combat. Correct me if that's wrong, as I just saw that in a comment. 24 is Yoimi. Yeah, because she can use her fireworks to deal big amounts of damage to the enemy, and although she isn't that skilled of a fighter, it matters less here, by how she just needs to deal high damage. 23 is Sarah, reasons being that she is a Tengu, and I can imagine she can be quite powerful, as she trains basically every day, and defeated Kazuha's friend, and Ito once. 22 is Kaya, because he was on par with Diluc when they fought that one time, and he is also an agent from Conria. However, it is unknown on how powerful he really can be, so I just placed him here, cause it seemed right. 21 is Kaching, because she mastered the art of the sword, and attacks really, really fast, which is very advantageous, by how I am measuring their power level. 20 is Jean, as she is the acting Grandmaster of Mondstadt, and could supposedly take out a Ruin Guard with just a few slashes of her sword. 19 is Kazuha, which may shock some people, but at peak potential, I'm assuming he can use his friend's vision, and we already saw how incredibly strong he can be then, as he managed to block Raiden's attack. 18 is Ito, which may again surprise some people, but because he is an Oni, and I am giving them their peak potential, I can imagine his strength being doubled when angered, and he's already even very strong by how he is now. 17 is Bido, as she defeated a giant sea monster dragon, and at peak potential, I am allowing her to utilize her ship, but not allowed to bring her crew. 16 is Noelle, reasons being, she has shown to have extremely strong strength, so imagine how much more powerful she can be when serious. 15 is Ningguang, because she's allowed to use the Jade Chamber and Guizhong Ballistas. If that's the case, some may wonder why she isn't higher. Well, it's because when she dropped the Jade Chamber, it needed the help of all 4 Adeptus and the Traveler to eliminate Osial, so the Jade Chamber's power, when dropped normally, will be drastically lowered, but not saying the damage is gonna be weak. 14 is Diluc, because he is able to use his father's delusion, which would improve his already strong fighting that we already have seen 3 times now in cutscenes. 13 is Lisa, reasons being, she is one of the best mages in Tibet, and can make the sky purple when using her skill. For her to reach peak potential, the enemy just needs to steal a book, and the damage she will deal then will be extremely strong and powerful. 12 is Chuchi, as she is surprisingly very strong in the lore. She can unleash all of the adeptal energy inside her body, which would deal huge amounts of damage. She might not be able to actually do it though, because her child body would not be able to handle it, but since I am measuring the characters at their peak strength, I am allowing it, and that is why she is ranked at 12. At number 11, barely missing the top 10, is Shenhe, because she was raised and trained by the Adeptus, could freeze a giant wave all by herself, lifted this extremely giant rock, and greatly weaken Osial's wife. Now, we have reached the top 10 most powerful characters. Again, this is the last time I'm saying this, but I'm measuring the characters at their peak potential, which doesn't always exactly mean they can unleash it. At number 10, we have Klee. She can easily destroy the terrain of Stormbearer's Mountain and the Primogeo Bishop, and she was also taught by Alice. She isn't an experienced fighter, but she just has so much power within her. At number 9, we have Child, because we already have seen him in his strongest possible state, and yeah, he's very powerful, as he trained in the Abyss, has a delusion, and is a Harbinger. At number 8, I put the Traveler here, which can be argued they should be at number 1, as they defeated gods and Harbingers before, but I think the people higher up in the list are just more powerful if they reach their full potential. At number 7 is Yae Miko, as she is the servant of the Electro Archon, and is a Kitsune. She also has lived for a very long time now, and I can imagine be very powerful when serious. At number 6 is Ganyu, because she is half Adeptus, from a species that seems to be very rare and powerful. She also has fought in the Archon War, along with Morax, and was trained by Shao and Cloud Retainer. At number 5, we have Albedo, because he mastered the art of chemia, meaning he can create life to help him in battle, and is a synthetic human. At his most peak power, he can supposedly destroy the entirety of Mondstadt, which is quite an accomplishment. Then at number 4, barely missing the top 3, is Shao, because he was a Yaksha, whose job was to destroy the remnants of the gods, has also fought in the Archon War, along with Morax, and has a high level of seniority among the Adepti. At peak strength, I am assuming his power wouldn't be restrained by his karmic debt, and he can freely just deal huge amounts of damage without any restrictions, like from a contract for example. It is also said that if you ever see Shao unleash his power, you would have to be very lucky to survive the whole ordeal. So yeah, he's extremely powerful, and maybe could even rival the power of an actual god. Then at number 3, it's her favorite bard, Venti. I am gonna say now that yes, I am measuring their strength if the Archons had their noses again. He is the Animo Archon, and when he ascended to godhood and used his powers for the first time, he plucked the strings of the lyre and scattered all of the intense ice and snow that was previously made from Andreas, who was a very strong god, and easily split the mountains with his divine wind. He is extremely strong, but he has said before that he's weaker than the other Archons. At number 2, we have her favorite dessert lover, A. She, along with Mikoto, easily destroyed the other gods during the Archon War, but mostly due to A, because she was in charge of matters that was related to warfare and slaughter. She also has a very strong signature sword move called the Miso no Hitotachi. Her signature move was extremely powerful and was strong enough to eliminate the serpent god, or Obashi. The strong slash from her sword also created a giant rift in the island that managed to split it into 2. She can definitely deal huge amounts of damage, along with her passionate martial arts. And now finally, my pick for the number 1 most powerful character in the lore is the Geo Archon, Timmy. Is the Geo Archon, Zhongli. He has slain many gods in the Archon War. Notably, he has destroyed the Overlord of the Vortex, Osial, by summoning thousands of giant stone lances at him, which can still be seen in Guyun Stone Forest, and we can clearly see how extremely big the spears he threw at Osial are. He was also the oldest Archon, and was considered as the Prime Adeptus. And lastly, it is said that he created giant, animal-like creatures out of jade to fight the god that was controlling Shao. He can easily just summon a giant meteor, and he can make random structures and weapons float. It was a very hard decision to decide between A and Zhongli on who is the most powerful, but in the end, I chose Zhongli. What do you guys think of my ranking? How would you rank the characters by how powerful they are in the lore at their most peak potential? Comment down below. I know this ranking isn't perfect, but I tried with the knowledge I had with these characters. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribe and like, bye.